Hey viewers, please don't forget to subscribe if you like the channel. Let's go.
Hello, welcome to today's episode. In the following stories, we will be hearing about real-life experiences and challenges faced by individuals. Let's listen and think about some advices for them. Best regards, Mr. Cool's Planet. Story 1. Title: Between Illness and Infidelity. Key point: a man's struggle to maintain his faithfulness in a troubled marriage marked by his wife's affairs and false accusations. Okay, let's listen to his words. I swore off cheating. The title might be a bit misleading, but let me explain. When I was a teenager, I wasn't the most faithful to my girlfriends, but after realizing how hurtful I was being, I swore off cheating. Fast forward, I, 28M, have been married to my wife, 28F, for 5 years now. In those 5 years, she has threatened divorce at least once a year, slandered my name to anyone who will listen, and a whole lot more. I ignored a lot of red flags being young and desperately trying to make things work, but one person alone does not a successful relationship make. To be honest, she pushed me to the brink of divorce before, but she was diagnosed terminally ill a year and a half ago, so I stayed to continue to support her. She had one affair around the time our daughter was conceived and 2 more that I can prove in the past year. I finally decided to get a lawyer and file for divorce, despite how it might look with her illness, after being informed by her family that she's been accusing me of awful things like child neglect, abuse and more. The divorce is still pending trial, but that hasn't stopped her from continuing her affairs, one of which I caught on camera of her bringing into our residence. Where my question is, I have recently told someone else I have feelings for them, but I'm still married. I don't want to make this person feel like the other girl, but I also don't feel it fair that my wife can act carefree and I'm supposed to remain faithful. Please keep in mind that this story reflects one person's experiences and perspective. So let's listen what other people are saying for the OP. Nebula 548 wants to say this. Look into the laws in your state. Some are no-fault states. Others aren't. That said, if you have filed for legal separation and divorce, you are in the clear to date. But, move forward knowing if you do, your soon-to-be ex-wife will make life a living hell. OP replies. Unfortunately, Texas doesn't recognize legal separation and our first trial to establish conservatorship and other matter has been postponed twice. Mama Knows Best joins here. Please wait until your divorce is finalized, don't give your STBXW any ammunition, she will use it to poison your kid. OP replies. She's tried to poison her already, but it hasn't worked yet. I agree, I don't want to give her any ammunition, especially in court, but she was making the accusations anyways. Richlow 544 is here to say. OP, as with other posters, just wait till the divorce is done and move on. Sounds like your STBX is a real piece of work. I would like to say this to this guy. Seek professional counseling or therapy to help cope with the emotional toll of the situation and to have a safe space to process and reflect on your experiences. Consider getting a legal representative to ensure that your rights and interests are protected during the divorce proceedings. Be mindful of your actions and consider the potential consequences they may have on your future and those around you, including your children. Store Y2. Title: Torn between loyalty and heartbreak. Key points. Infidelity uncovered after 27 years of marriage leading to emotional turmoil. Struggle between moving on from a broken relationship and feeling guilt for wishing happiness for a former partner. Now the story. So confused on what is right. Been together 27 years, married 25. 2 kids, both still in the home. December 3rd. Caught wife cheating. She spent the day with and was at the house of some guy. I followed her and saw her vehicle there. When challenged on it, she lied at every turn until she realized I had proof, at which point she admitted to what I already told her I knew. She said the only thing they ever did was kiss. December 4th, I was able to undelete text messages on her phone to prove sexual contact to include oral and penetration. She once again denied until she realized I had proof. Said it was over, begged and pleaded for me to forgive her. She slept in the finished basement. December 10th. Caught her again at dude's house. Once again she promised it is over, no more contact. We sleep separate. I tell her I don't care what she does as I don't believe her anyway. She swears it is over, writes me notes telling me she is sorry, starts to do things that she knew she wasn't doing in the past. December 24th. After a few weeks of some conversations and a lot of reading, I tell her I realize my ghosting isn't helping and that I am going to choose us, and I am invested in our marriage. We arrange for marriage counseling. January 6th. I find a 16-page letter she had written to her boyfriend about a lot of things, but her stating, "Hello you who has my heart." As the opener, I have to dismiss you to him because I am afraid that he will realize my true feelings, and I will try and find ways you and I can have more time. I confront her, tell her it is over and she goes and spends the night with him. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, we look for apartments and then after much begging and pleading, I give in and say yes to us again. She sends an "it's over" text and swears that I am who she wants. January 25th. We have a counselor meeting and discuss being all in and what the way forward is. Counselor identifies that based on what we are saying, neither of us are chasing after the other and that is what we need to work on. January 27th. Discussion of relationship in current situation brings up concept of open marriage. I say no way, there is no point in being married if that is the case. Later that night, she says she wants me to pursue the relationship with him. I make sure she knows that that means she is choosing him over us, to which she acknowledges. We agree to a minimum 1-year separation to work on, figure out ourselves, still in same house. My biggest complaint is the trickle truth and continued lying. I know for a fact that she contacted him this last also, I just don't know the extent. What I do know is that she continues to lie. Now she is stating that she is unsure if the relationship with him is what she wants. I personally feel like we are done. I don't even care that she is continuing to see him and spending overnights. In fact, I hope it works out for her and don't have any desire to actually work it out. But somehow I feel bad guilt that the side dude isn't working out and she might be alone. Let's listen what people are saying about this. Username 197 says, "Why would you feel bad that your wife continually lied to you and wants to pursue another man? My advice would be sell your home and split." OP replies, "I think it is the years spent together. I still love her and care about her. I just don't think I am in love with her and somehow, I now feel like a split is my fault since she still wants us to be us. Fucked up, I know. Got to start over wants to say this. To paraphrase an old, tired, but still true saying, when she shows you who she is, believe her." That 16-page letter should have been the death knell IMHO. You've put up with way too much disrespect by repeatedly staying the course with her despite your possession of evidence of her repeatedly cheating. Please, stop doing that. Nobody cares. Joins here to say, "I am so happy that my ex left me 7 years ago for her AP. We were together for 27 years. I feel sorry you have to endure being put second all the time. You need to cut her loose. She is only toxic to your life. Boot her out." I just wanna say this to OP. Take time to reflect on what you truly want and need in a relationship, rather than feeling guilty for someone else's choices. Seek individual therapy to work through the feelings of betrayal and pain that this situation has likely caused. Before making any major decisions about the future of your relationship, communicate openly and honestly with your partner about your thoughts and feelings. Consider seeking couples therapy to help facilitate this communication and navigate any potential changes in the relationship. Story 3. Title: Struggling in a long-term relationship. Key point: a young man is having trouble in his long-term relationship with his girlfriend, following a disagreement over her decision to stop working out and his overreaction to it, causing her to distance herself from him. Let's get into the story. Me 22M and my girlfriend 24F are going through a rough patch after I did something dumb, and I'm looking for advice. Hey everybody. I've been with my girlfriend for over 4 years now. For every single day during those 4 years, our relationship was amazing, and I'm happy that she's part of my life. I can't imagine my life without her. Oh, and we're both in our early 20s. To give a little bit of background, we're both college students community, we both share the same political beliefs, the same lifestyles, the same everything really. The one bad thing that I will say is that she has extremely strict parents, and because of this, they still don't know I exist. Yeah, I know, red flag, but I trust and love her. Anyways, one thing that's really been important to my life is lifting weights, staying physically active, etc. We're both college students, we met there, and while I gym a lot more than she does, she used to gym with me sometimes. However, we're both taking a gap year from school, and because she's working full-time, she told me that she didn't want to gym. I said that's fine, yeah okay whatever, but then she said that she never wanted to gym again. This is where everything started. I overreacted, I'm young, and I made a really bad mistake. I'll try to explain this as accurately as possible. After she told me that she never wanted to gym again, I was upset because I had developed expectations, and I was very upset that those expectations would never be met, especially since in my mind, everyone should gym. At least, that's what I thought at the time. We spoke without arguing or raising our voices over the phone, and I was 100% in the wrong. I said that she was lazy, tried to justify why I wanted her to work out by saying I didn't want her to get fat coping. I really just wanted her to be a gym girl, and this pretty much went on for a week straight back and forth. I also tried to use the arguing point that she wanted to marry earlier than I did, and that because I changed my life plans, that she should change this for me too. Furthermore, I basically gave her an ultimatum without saying that it was one, at one point, saying something like, if you can't even be physically active for at least 1 hour a week in the future, then I'll still love you, but I'll be disappointed for a long time until I'm able to move on. I know, that's bad. After this week had passed and I had read other people's posts about their arguments with their girlfriends' boyfriends, I realized that all relationships, or at least a lot, reach a point where they find out that there is something that they have to come to terms with, since at the end of the day, everyone has their own way of living. After I made this realization, I apologized to my girlfriend and said that I was wrong. Things got bad though. She started lying to me, when she never did before, ignoring phone calls, kept saying she'd meet me in person but then she'd head home and say, my bad, my mom needed something, and she overall was avoiding me. This disheartened me because before my foolish mistake, we texted each other every 5 minutes, were giddy AF together, and she always tried to meet me in person. After about 2 months of this treatment, I met her at her work parking lot before her shift, not trying to be that guy who barges in and makes everything awkward, and brought her some Starbucks, and had a heart-to-heart conversation with her, and I did my best to explain how I felt. I apologized again. I explained that she was right and that my reasonings for trying to get her to gym were out of selfish desires, and that I didn't even care if she got fat or not, because at the end of the day, I love her. This definitely helped, as she did start communicating a little bit more. However, my heart still hurts every night because some problems still persisted. To this moment, it's been about 4 months since she last met me in person, not counting when I met her in the parking lot with the Starbucks, and 3 months since the whole situation started. We used to call all the time 24/7 and she'd always try to sneak out and meet me before this situation happened. However, she'd still call me in the morning and after work still. I'm just confused because she doesn't try to meet me anymore, she doesn't express that she really loves me anymore, and she recently said that she needed space, but despite that she still wants to call me before and after work. She doesn't even want me to get her a Valentine's gift, with her reasoning being that, I just don't want to think about relationships right now, but after a month I should be fine. So, my thinking is that she's extremely stressed by her busy lifestyle, and she's also upset because of our previous disagreement. The thing that hurts me the most is that I'll say, "I love you," and she'll just reply with, now. After reading a lot of other people's posts, it kinds of feels like she's preparing herself to leave me, but at the same time she's always staying in touch with me, so I'm very confused. Just tonight she told me that after a month she might be good back when I mentioned the Valentine's thing, but she's been saying that same line for the past couple months. I'm really confused right now, and I just want some feedback. Maybe an outside view of this situation could help us. I've been working my hardest to communicate with her and let her know how I feel, but deep down in my heart, I feel like she wants to break up with me, or just wants me as a friend. I don't want to be a friend though, I don't want to see her with another guy. If she wants to break up, then that's the last I want to see of her. Am I just overthinking everything? It's been 3 months since she last wanted to meet me in person, her communication is a little bit iffy, and she keeps telling me that she'll be better eventually. I'll do whatever it takes to make things good again, so should I just keep waiting, keep trying to work things through with her? Or am I just doing everything in vain, and about to get hurt really bad? She said she has no plans to break up with me, and that's the one thing that's keeping me bewildered, since she doesn't want to try and work things out in person. Let's listen to some comments. Thrusting Banter says, "It's good that you realize your mistake. You can apologize endlessly for what you said, but I can guarantee that she will never be able to unhear it. It's been months of you two not communicating properly and being told that maybe she'll be okay. I have a sneaking suspicion she won't ever actually be okay." OP replies, "Yeah, I thought about that. I really don't wanna do that though, lol. I might be stupidly in love, but I'll keep being patient and see what happens. Who knows, maybe I'll reply with a success story in the future." Necessary Sir 5079 wants to say this. "Yikes op. You said some pretty awful stuff. Seems like she still cares about you but definitely doesn't trust you anymore. Rebuilding trust is one of the hardest things to do in a relationship. It's not impossible, but it's really gonna take time and effort. It's okay if it doesn't work out, but no matter what happens, don't treat this girl like pos. This is my advice to him. Take a step back and reflect on what they enjoy doing, their values and their long-term goals. This can help them prioritize and determine what is truly important to them. Consider seeking guidance from a career counselor or mentor who can provide an outside perspective and help them explore different career options. Don't be afraid to try new things and experiment with different career paths. This can help them gain new experiences and a better understanding of what they do and don't like. Thank you for taking the time to listen to stories. I hope they have provided you with valuable insights and inspiration. Remember, these stories are just a small glimpse into the vast and diverse experiences of people all around us. If you found these stories helpful and engaging, I invite you to subscribe the channel for more interesting and thought-provoking content. I believe that learning from each other's experiences can be incredibly powerful and help us grow and improve as individuals. So let's continue this journey together.